Hi, you guys. It's Natha, and it is the full moon in May. And so the sun is in the sign of Taurus, and the moon is in the sign of Scorpio. They're in opposition, they're across from each other. And so when a full moon comes and we have this opposition, we're always looking at trying to balance. So oftentimes we feel unstable during a full moon, and that's because we are out of balance with what the moon is, the energies of the moon and how they affect us. And the moon, remember, is about our emotions. So the Taurus Scorpio axis is about stability versus instability, because Taurus is earth and it's ground. And like I talked about in the video for the new moon, there is a certain amount of really wanting to ground yourself enough to cultivate your abundance, right? Needing to spend enough time in your garden so that you can grow the food that you need. And Scorpio is much more emotional. It's water. And not only is it emotional, but it's hypersensitive. Oftentimes with Scorpio, we find that it brings up our emotions that are really hard to feel. And so we end up repressing them, or we end up really having to walk through the fire. And I always say walk through the fire. You know, that's the fastest way to get emotional resolve, but it's the hardest. And so know that during this full moon that you might feel a sense of having to walk through your own fire to get to stable ground. And this moon makes a harmonious connection to Pluto, of all planets, and Pluto rules Scorpio. And so Pluto will support you and support us in doing that, walking through the fire, because Pluto is all about deep transformation. And so this full moon, while it may feel a little edgy and a little bit like we are, you know, a balloon in a room full of cactuses, if you stay with it and you do the work of staying with yourself and really identifying your difficult emotions and allowing yourself to feel them and process them, there is, it's almost like you get this deep sigh of relief after. So I think that's the wisdom of this moon, is if you're willing to stay with your feelings and if you're curious about them, that there is great abundance at the end of the trail for you. All right, I will see you guys at the next new moon. Bye.